How to add value to a commercial property. Commercial real estate can be a lucrative investment, whether you plan on using the property for your own business operations or renting it out to tenants. In order to get the most out of your property, you should take certain steps to increase its value. Some tips for adding value to a commercial property include making structural and cosmetic changes, which can be ways to improve property and attract tenants and/or justify a higher rent, and improving operations to bring in more revenue. Method 1: Making structural and cosmetic changes. 1. Add square footage to your property. This is one of the most common ways to add value to a property. If your commercial property has demand for more tenants and they cannot be added within the previously available space, adding more space can be economical. Depending on the property's purpose, you may increase its value by adding more office, warehouse, storefront, parking, storage, conference, or employee gathering space. Having covered or reserved parking can give your property a competitive advantage over similar properties being considered by a corporation or business. Consult with local building authorities for necessary permissions before starting any construction work. 2. Increase the rentable square footage. It is important to remember that within a property, there is a difference between total square feet and the rentable square feet. If a building is poorly designed, the rentable square feet will be significantly less than the actual square feet. This means a large part of your property that could be potentially monetized is not. For example, a building with excessive lobbies, unfinished areas, or poorly organized hallway arrangements could end up having a large portion of the property not rentable. Consider finishing any incomplete parts of the property, or converting any currently unrentable areas into rentable areas. For example, one floor may have 2 large equipment closets. Combining those 2 rooms into one smaller closet and renting the other part out as a small office can add value. 3. Improve the exterior of your property. The external appearance of your property can greatly influence its value. Fortunately, there are several low-cost ways to add value through making external improvements. Negotiate with cleaning and garbage pickup company to provide services to tenants as part of rent. Making sure the grounds, parking lots, bathrooms, and walkways of your building are extremely clean is the cheapest and easiest way to boost the value of your property. This means cleaning up garbage, ensuring lawns are cut and well manicured, removing clutter, and ensuring there are no odd smells. Update windows and doors. If the windows and doors of your property are outdated, not fashionable, or poorly designed, consider updating them. Investing in new windows and doors can not only improve the appearance of your home, but it can also reduce noise, increase natural light, and help reduce heating, cooling bills. Paint. Painting the outside brick or siding is a simple and easy way to refresh the appearance of your property and give it a new appearance without making significant structural changes. Invest in professional landscaping. Professional landscaping can significantly improve the outside appearance of your property at a reasonable cost. 4. Update the signage. The signage should attract people in from the outside, and should accurately represent a property's purpose. If signage is inadequately sized in comparison to the architecture or competing signs, hidden by the landscaping, difficult to read, looks unappealing, or is otherwise a misrepresentation of the property's purpose, you can go a long way in increasing the value of your commercial property by adding new signage or updating the old. Consider a variety of sign styles, materials, sizes, and placements. Consult with a sign maker to learn of all your options and make the best decisions for your property. 5. Increase security and parking. Security features like alarm systems, gates, and shutters can increase property value by making the property more attractive to tenants and lowering your insurance premium. In addition, some areas may justify hiring private guards. For parking, consider renting from nearby lots that go unused during your tenants' operation hours. For instance, your tenants' businesses may have daytime hours, but there is a nightclub lot nearby that is empty during the day. You could consider renting the nightclub lot out during the day to a food truck or another mobile business. Method 2: Decreasing expenses. 1. Decrease expenses. For a commercial property, the value depends largely on how profitable it is. Profits can be increased by raising rents or by reducing expenses. Fortunately, it is possible to reduce expenses without impacting the operations of the property significantly. Consider adding energy-efficient light bulbs throughout the property. This will cost money upfront, but will save significantly over time. Consider passing some expenses, like gas utilities for example, onto tenants. If your gas company can individually meter units, consider asking them to do so. This will enable you to monitor and charge gas expenses to individual tenants. Investing in modern heating and air conditioning systems can also go a long way to reducing costs over the long term. Enter into a long-term contract with suppliers. This may decrease the costs of your regular supplies purchases. Consistent maintenance can also reduce your expenses by reducing the chance of expensive accidents. 2. Request that the tax assessor re-evaluate your property value. Property valuations are often outdated or inaccurate, and sometimes a simple reassessment can significantly lower your tax obligation, thus improving your bottom line. Your property value is often only assessed by local governments, and therefore your property value may reflect a time period where property values were higher. In addition, assessors often make errors, and your assessor very well may have overestimated how valuable your property is. If you feel your property is overvalued, you can contact your local tax assessor and ask for a revaluation. If you are unhappy with the new figure, you can always appeal their opinion. To do so, visit your tax assessor's office and request forms to appeal. You can also request information on the values of other properties as well. If you notice that similar properties are carrying lower valuations, the strength of your case increases greatly. Alternatively, contact an attorney or real estate agent who specializes in appealing property assessments. 3. Modernize your property. The building should be up to date, comparable to surrounding buildings in quality and representative of the area's aesthetic style. Make sure that you're using current, energy-efficient heating and air conditioning, water heaters, and lights to save on regular energy costs. Upgrading the roofing on your property can be one way to modernize its appearance, cut costs, and prevent damage to your property. For this reason, a new roof can offer an excellent return on investment. Go green. When updating your property, keep eco-friendliness in mind. This will not only keep your property relevant in today's earth-conscious consumer market, but it will also lower overhead costs. Green options include solar panels, energy-efficient appliances, and energy-conserving windows. There may even be tax incentives. When modernizing, ensure every change creates more value than it costs. For example, if you are spending $2,000 on new air conditioning, for example, this new air conditioning should lead to $2,000 in saved costs over time, or should enable you to attract, maintain, or increase rents on tenants. Method 3: Earning more income. 1. Know the neighborhood. Knowing how much other commercial properties in the area sell for and the general market value of the area will be helpful in determining what direction to go in for the commercial aspect of the property. What is most desirable right now in this area? What does the neighborhood need? What other future developments are happening, a new school, condominium, or shopping center, that will affect the supply and demand of your investment? 2. Name the property. Naming a property lends it character and charm, and enables people to identify its purpose and position in the market. This is integral to branding the property, which can significantly increase its value. For name ideas, consider the property's history, placement within the community, purpose, neighborhood, and tenants. You can also consider selling the naming rights to a large tenant. On the topic of names, consider changing the name of the street or road where the property is located if it is odd or extremely difficult to pronounce. For instance, Shades of Death Road, located in NJ, may see some struggle on commercial property value. You can petition to your local planning and zoning departments to have street names changed. 3. Find tenants. If your commercial property has space for more tenants, there are a number of methods you can use to find tenants and increase property value. Offer move-in specials to attract new tenants. For example, you can offer a discounted first-month rent rate, a low deposit amount, or a short-term lease to get tenants into your property. For example, ask existing tenants to refer new tenants and consider offering an incentive in return. Incentive examples include a finder's fee, 1 month of a discounted rent rate, or access to a premium property amenity. Getting new tenants through referrals may increase the tenant synergy of the building, meaning that the types of businesses will be in similar categories. For instance, lack of tenant synergy would be having a shop selling high-end Gucci bags and women's accessories next to a pawn shop, and this is something that brings property value down. 4. Avoid vacancies. An empty building is a certain way to decrease the value of your property dramatically. Fortunately, having the proper policies and procedures can greatly help in retaining tenants and avoiding vacancies. Maintain an excellent relationship with your tenants. This means addressing their concerns promptly, being available, and maintaining the property. This can help to retain tenants. Keep in touch with the wants and needs of your target tenant market. Do you own a high-end apartment building? Having gym facilities, Wi-Fi, and ample parking may be important. 5. Raise the rent. Commercial real estate buyers are focused on income, and one of the easiest ways to increase your income is to increase your rent. Increasing rent, however, needs to be done carefully. If your building has a very high occupancy rate, 95 to 100%, this may be an indication that your rents can increase. If your property is comprised of smaller businesses or low-income tenants, raising the rent may be unwise, since you could inadvertently decrease your occupancy rate. This could mean lower revenues for you, and more difficulty attracting new tenants. However, if your property has higher-end tenants, if your neighborhood is popular, if there is a waiting list for your property, or if nearby property rents are higher, consider raising your rents. The goal is to charge the maximum amount of rent possible without having tenants leave or reducing your ability to attract new ones. Consider whether or not recent investments to the property justify higher rents as well. For example, you may have invested in a high-quality parking lot, new security measures, or top-notch air conditioning. All of these could justify higher rents.